I robot, Isaac move. One man saw it coming. Liar. Alfred running, lit his cigar carefully, but the tips of his fingers were trembling slightly. His grey eyebrow hunched low as he spoke between puffs. Read minds, all right? Damn little doubt about that. But why? He looked at mathematician Peter Bogart. Well, Bogart flattened his black hair down with both hands. That was a 31st Alvin model. We turned up. Lenny. All the others were strictly orthodox. The third man at the table frowned. Milton Ashe was the youngest officer of U.S. Robot and Mechanical Man Incorporated, and proud of his post. Listen, Bogart, there wasn't a hitch in the assembly from start to finish. I guarantee that. Bogart's thick lips spread in a patronizing smile. Do you? If you can answer for the entire assembly line, I recommend your promotion. By exact count, there are 75,234 operations necessary for the manufacture of a single positronic brain, which is separate operation depending for successful completion of any number of factors from 5 to 105. If any one of them goes seriously wrong, the brain is ruined. I quote our own information folder Ashe. Milton Ashe flushed, but the fourth voice cut off his reply. If you are going to start by trying to fix the blame on another, I'm leaving. Susan Calvin's hands were folded tightly in her lap, and the little lines about her thin, pale lips deepened. If you got a mind-reading robot on our hands and it strikes me as rather important that we find out just why it read mind, you are not going to do that by saying, your fault, my fault. Her cold gray eyes fastened upon Ashe and he grinned. Lenin grinned too, and as always at such times, his long white hair and shrewd little eyes made him the picture of a biblical patriarch. True for you, Dr. Calvin. His voice became suddenly crisp. He heard everything in pure concentration form. Eve produced a positronic brain of supposedly originally vintage that's got the remarkable property of being able to turn in third waves. It would mark the most important adventure in robotics in decades. If we knew how it happened, we don't, and we have to find out. Is that clear? May I make a suggestion? Asked Bogart. Go ahead. I'd say that until we do figure out the math, and as a mathematician, I expect it to be a very debatable mess. We keep the existence of RD34 a secret. I mean, even from the other members of the staff. As head of the department, you ought not to find it insoluble problem and fear or know about it. Bogart is right, said Dr. Kelvin. Ever since the Interdisciplinary Code was modified to allow robot models to be tested in the plants before being shipped out to space, anti-robot propaganda has increased. If any word leaked out about robot being able to read minds before we can announce complete control of the phenomenon, pretty effective capital could be made out of it. Lenin sucked at his cigar and nodded gravely. He turned to Ashe. I think you said you were alone. when you first stumbled on his sword reading business? I'll say I was alone. I got scared of my life. I'll be 34. Had just been taken off the assembly table, and they sent him down to me. Overman was awful, somewhere, so I took him down to the testing rooms myself. At least I started to take him down. Ash paused, and a tiny smile tugged at his lips. Say, did any of you ever carry on a thought conversation without knowing it? No one bothered to answer, and he continued, you don't realize it at first, you know. He just spoke to me as logically and sensibly as you can imagine, and it was only when it was most the way down to the testing rooms that I realized that I hadn't said anything. Sure, I saw lots, but that isn't the same thing, is it? I locked the things up and ran for learning. Having him walking beside me, calmly peering into my thought and picking and choosing among them gave me the willies. I imagine it would, said Susan Kelvin thoughtfully. Her eyes fixed themselves upon Ashi in an orderly, intent manner. You are so accustomed to considering our own thought private. Lenin broke in impatiently. Then only the four of us know. All right, you've got to go about this systematically. I see. I want you to check over the assembly line from beginning to end. Everything. You are to eliminate all operations in which there was no possible chance of an error, and list all those there were, together with its nature and possible magnitude. Tall water, grunted Ash. Naturally, of course, you are to put the man under you to work on this. Every single one of if you have to. And I don't care if we go behind the schedule either. But they are not to know why. You understand? Yes. The young technician grinned wryly. Is still Lulu of a job. Leaning swiveled about in his chair and faced Kelvin. We'll have to tackle the job from the other direction. You are the robot psychologist of the plant, so you are to study the robot itself and work backward. Try to find out how he tricks. See what else is tied up with his telepathic powers, how far they extended, how they work, his outlook, and just exactly what harm it has done to his ordinary RV properties. You got that? Ginning didn't wait for the Dr. Kelvin to answer. I'll coordinate the work and interpret the finding mathematically. He puffed violently at his cigar and mumbled the rest through the smoke. Bogart, you'll help me there, of course. Bogart polished the nails of one fuzzy hand with the other hand, and blandly, I dare say, I know a little in the line. Well, I'll get started, as he shoved his chair back and rose. His pleasantly useful face crinkled in a grin. I've got the darnest job of any of us, so I'm getting out of here and to work. He let with a slurred, be seeing ye. Susan Kelvin answered with a barely perceptible nod, but her eyes followed him out of sight, and he did not answer, and Lenin grunted and said, do you want to go up and see RB 34 now, Dr. Kelvin?